the Rich Thomas Weather Network, brought to you by these fine sponsors. Hear Rich's forecast hourly on these Blue Water Broadcasting radio stations.
Hey, good morning, everybody. On this Thursday morning, it is the 12th day of July, and at 10 minutes till 4 o'clock in the morning, the temperature is now 78 with a heat index of 81. We're headed for more triple-digit heat indices again today. We were above 100 yesterday on the heat index, and 96 was the high, and I think we're going to be in the same neighborhood today. But everybody wants to know, is this the day your town gets wet? Well, I think the odds are getting a little better. We'll show you future radar, and I think the odds will get better over the next few days. I have the updated numbers for here in the Gulf Coast beaches as we look ahead towards the weekend. Plus, latest from the tropics, latest on Chris and Beryl. Let's get started on your Thursday morning personal weather briefing. Here we go. Once again this morning, there's that upper high in the middle of the country where the temperatures are hottest, but the ridge holds across the Gulf states, and that's why we're going to be so hot today. I think the rain chances get a little bit better today. Hardly any showers yesterday, but I think there will be, some isolated showers around. Well, that looks pretty good at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Some towns are getting wet. Many towns will stay dry. You know the drill. So a very hot day today. I think the odds of getting wet are about 30%. That's the best we've seen so far this week, with a high around 95. Tonight's low 74, and the heat index, again, 100 to 105. Now, when we talk about isolated or widely scattered storms, that would be a 20% probability. Scattered would be 30, 40, and 50%, and likely is 60%. So those are some forecast terms for you. And by the way, we are having a terrible lightning year. The death toll is up to 13 now here in the United States, very high. 6 in Florida. In fact, they just had another one. And look at the coverage across the southeastern U.S. That's what we're talking about. So take it easy out there and watch out for lightning. If you hear thunder, you're close enough to get struck. There's Friday. The big heat wave high is still around tomorrow. And hot day with scattered storms around. I think the rain chances are in the 30 to 40% range tomorrow, and about 40% perhaps on Saturday. And I think the rain chances will actually get a little bit better perhaps as we get closer to Sunday and Monday, when the rain chances will be as high as 50%. So gradually, your odds of getting wet are going to get a little bit better as we get towards the weekend and beyond. And that's good news for a lot of lawns like my lawn. So I've got the rain chances pegged around 30% tomorrow, and then a little higher on Saturday, and then a pretty decent chance on Sunday and Monday, maybe 50, perhaps 60%, with temperatures in the lower 90s by the time we get late in the weekend and the early part of next week. This is the actual pin down of the temperatures. We're still in the mid-90s for a couple of days, and then back to closer to normal for this time of the year, which would be low 90s for the most part. Beach forecast for the beaches from Gulf Shores to Panama City, calling for a 30% chance of storms tomorrow and about a 40% chance over the weekend, Saturday and Sunday. That's not a bad forecast. Highs in the upper 80s, and the Gulf water temperature now at 85 degrees. Meanwhile, out in the tropics, Chris is racing away now at over 30 miles per hour into the North Atlantic. Meanwhile, the remnants of Beryl could redevelop, 50% chance over the next 5 days, but it looks awful on the satellite this morning. Terrible presentation on Beryl. And meanwhile, Chris is racing away towards Iceland and the British Isles. So that's what's going on in the tropics. That's all I have for you this morning. There'll be another video for you first thing tomorrow morning at 4:45 a.m. When you're out and about, you can always hear my forecast across the dial on 8 radio stations, the Blue Water family of stations, twice an hour. And we're live on the radio this morning from 6 to 9 on News Talk 93.1. We have a great time, and we have a chance to interact with the morning crew over at Alabama News Network, CBS 8 and ABC 32. First, Ryan Stinnett and I talk weather at 5:50 a.m., and then the next hour we're upstairs in the News Talk studio, and that's always a lot of fun. That happens around 6:40 a.m. Have a great day today. I'll see you later.
Rich Thomas Weather.